Yo, 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 what's poppin', all my peeps? It is I, your host with the most, Renaissance man, who always thinks he can, and your champion of the peeps, Patty Pitts, back once again, down by the side of the river for another edition of the Raw Rewind, part of Pitts and Sara's wrestling show, where we take no nights off. And it's not just me, Patty P, here in the Yard of Streams. I'm joined, as always, by the best of the West you can't forget about. Sarah Marshall, what's popping, girl?
Hello.
Hey, yo.
Hey yo. Hello.
The dichotomy of man or woman.
Yeah. Get you a girl who can do both, as they say.
Get you a girl who can be Razor and Scott Hall.
Yeah.
Which are there really any differences between the two characters? Do you think?
One's Cuban, but that's probably
One is very Cuban.
yeah. One is Cuban and one is not.
And then one is just the coolest motherfucker in WCW. So there's the difference.
I still love reading of people say how they legitimately thought that he was like Cuban, and they were
right
shocked.
Here. Right
yeah,
here.
when they were like, he's not. He's just like a southern white boy. Definitely not Cuban.
So, like, that actually brings up something that I was talking about today with my good buddy Adam Berg. What was the oldest you were when a WWE kayfabe thing was broken to you? All right, so I'll give my example before you give yours to help guide you. I was in high school when I found out that Kane and Undertaker were not brothers. I will fully admit that.
I feel like I found out something like not that long ago, but I don't remember what it is. It was like I don't remember how old I was with those types of things, you know?
Yeah.
I'm trying to think like if there's any that stand out. No, I can't think of anything. That's so lame. I don't know. I would have to really think about it because I'm like nothing comes to mind that like I couldn't tell you when I found out like Undertaker and Kane weren't brothers. Like I don't know how old I was because like
Yeah.
when they were really big and it was like a big thing about them being like siblings, I wasn't able to watch like consistently. So I don't know when I would have found that out. But I don't blame people for thinking they were related, you know? I mean, they're both giant, scary human beings.
They were. They were terrifying.
Yeah.
I've said
Yeah.
multiple times on this show that
With
I had a dream when I was 4 years old that Kane chokeslammed me through the sewer in my driveway while my family watched on as I floated down to the gates of hell. It is terrifying.
at 4.
I was
And
4
your
years
parents
old.
are just like, have a good trip.
But
See you
like in the
later.
dream or nightmare at this point, my parents are just like watching on as I cry. It gets so dark. I should probably bring
They're
it
like,
up in
thanks,
therapy at some
Mark.
point.
Thanks, Mark.
Glenn, thanks for taking
What's up,
him.
Glenn?
Thanks for
You
taking
got
him
my
off our
vote.
hands,
You
pal.
got my vote, Glenn.
Real appreciate it. Oh my god, like it's just crazy shit like that. Meanwhile, I mean, he's not 4, he's 8. But yeah, I have him downstairs with me watching Raw from last night, and asking like, "Oh, who is this guy?" Or like, "All right, well, why can't you hit him with a chair?" Well, because you'd be disqualified. Why? What else can you not do, or else you'd be
Yeah.
disqualified? I'm like, well, you can't be out of the ring for too long. Like, it's so fascinating how just wrestling just does one of these. Like, you're terrified here, think life is the worst thing ever, but then you're teaching the next generation on the way up. Like, it's great. It's great.
Who's scarier, masked Kane or no masked Kane?
100% no mask Kane, specifically 2003 when he was feuding, like when he had the towel on his head, and
Oh
like he
yeah, yeah,
still
yeah.
had like he was still like kind of fat in the face, so like the eyes. Oh, it's the creepiest
See,
Kane
I disagree.
ever.
I think masked Kane still gives me the heebie-jeebies.
Really?
Yeah, when I watch like old clips from like 99, 2000 or whatever, I'm like, this gives me the same feeling I did as a little baby child. Where I'm
Really?
just like, there's something unsettling about you.
Okay. I see.
Yeah.
I now
Do you ever
have
wonder
the.
how his career would have been if they never had him take off his mask?
I think about that a little bit when I see clips of that conversation come up on my algorithm, and I I would have liked to see him go longer with the mask, because he
I
could
don't like the
talk.
way they went about it.
It
Like, I
was
think it was
very
after the aftermath felt very half-assed to me.
a little bit. I
I
could
feel
kind
I
of
don't
agree
know.
with
He
that.
just lost his edge. You know what I mean?
He did,
Like
and the thing,
there weren't many dudes that weren't luchadors that wore masks.
yeah,
So like that made him cool.
but the
Like
thing
made him different.
with that, you're right. It made him different, and it was a cool different because years ago when it was still that gray area of that '90s wrestling into the attitude, he didn't need to talk, but now we're moving into an era where he needs to talk and express some personality. Well, he's doing that and teaming up with RVD. He has the mask that it's showing this his mouth so he can talk. What's the
Yeah.
difference in pushing that a few more years and still having it with the mask? And the thing with masks are that he could have had a cool design with it. It could have been
Mhm.
something. It just feels, and I think I've heard him say this, that it was a personal choice. But I don't know. It's like that's the only thing that would make sense.
Yeah. Interesting.
But yeah, I mean, these are just. What if Kane didn't unmask? That'd be a nice little one. What if to talk about? No one really talks about that. Let's
Yeah.
see that come up.
I think there's stuff like there are questions like that, you know? It's like
Hmm.
how I feel like you can think about that a lot too with wrestlers who died, you know? Like
Yeah.
how different would things be if Eddie never died, or what if
Oh,
China never left, or like Test was supposed to be pushed heavy into like the main event scene but he died. So it's like how different would that be?
Triple
Like
H
imagine if
situation.
Test were a big dude. Yeah, what if Triple H never married Stephanie? Like
Yeah, and he married
who
China.
would
Was
be
faithful
running
to China.
WWE right now,
If
you
he was
know?
faithful to China, we would not be. I would tell you right now, we would not be sitting here.
Yeah. It's
Just stuff to
crazy.
think
Like
about.
those are things that it's like it really can like I don't know, it can really change the trajectory of the company.
It's crazy. It's crazy to think of stuff like that. But now
Yeah.
we're in an era of WWE on Netflix, where before,
And it's a
back
new
in the
era
olden
every
days,
week.
it really,
So,
like it really, I hate to, I don't like being that guy that is like, oh yeah, Triple H said it, it's a new era every week. But he just said that it was a new era a week ago. Like,
yeah.
of course
Well, it
it's a
was
new
also supposed to
beginning.
be the biggest episode of Raw we've ever seen. So,
I still thought it was pretty good
we get
though.
one of those at least once a month
We do,
also.
but it was still pretty good. I really
Yeah.
have no big issues with Raw last night, which is a plus.
I I don't think it was bad. I kind of stopped watching honestly and just caught up later. I only really cared about Gunther, so I didn't give not a single fuck about the rest of the show. I did not care. I was like, you know what? No, I need to see my man's, and the
Yeah,
show started off that way, and I was like,
we didn't really talk about Saturday's main event feelings. How we feeling? How we feeling? You want to talk about that before
um,
we hear from the peeps and talk about the show?
I was kind of underwhelmed. Honestly, I think I had higher expectations for the entire show. Like I feel like the matches were pretty solid. I was disappointed with how they ended Oba versus Cody, but at the same time, I feel like I kind of understand it because both are champions, so they probably didn't want either one of them to lose. Although I
Mm-hmm.
feel like neither one would have been harmed by a loss. You know what I mean? Like it wasn't for either title, and no one was gonna think anything. It just would be like, oh yeah, Cody beat Oba. Well, yeah, he's like the WWE champion, you know? Or Oba beats Cody. Well, yeah, he's this dominant guy. This is like a way of being like, yeah, the future's bright. Look at this, you know? Like I don't know that anyone would have been like pissed off with either result. But if they were going to end it in a DQ, I wish that we had gotten like 5 more minutes of match before Drew came out. Like I think that
Yeah,
it came too early.
that's a fair critique with it. I, in the moment, was pissed for obvious reasons. And
Yeah.
then thinking about it, it actually made Oba more of a star because he got the rub from two main event
Yeah.
talent. And it wasn't like Drew bullied him at all. Quite the
Yeah, he
opposite.
wasn't the target, so
Exactly, like quite the opposite in the sense that Oba went at Drew, gave him a choke slam, put
yeah.
him on his ass, and then have Cody raise it up. Like that's what you want to do in those moments to put over the younger talent. And as much as it does suck that you didn't have a clean finish, or oh yeah, Cody pinned Oba, or oh my god, Oba stole a like that's not what that was meant to be, and I'm totally
Yeah.
fine with that.
Yeah.
Everything happened that should have happened in that match, and the way I watch wrestling now is I don't want to predict the finish. I want to sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. And when it gets predictable, that's when I'm moving on to the next promotion. This
Yeah.
made me really invested in WWE and like the future for it. So
I also I mean like I said, I enjoyed all of the matches, I think for the most part, and I had no issue with Cena versus Gunther. And everybody was
mm-hmm.
crying about it. And
Mm-hmm.
I just was like, before getting into anything about Gunther, the thing that okay, so first of all, I take an issue as somewhat of a gatekeeper of John Cena fandom because I know that a lot of people that were acting as if their life is going to be so impacted by John Cena retiring this year did not give a single fuck about him last year or the year before or 10 years ago. Like they just jumped on the bandwagon of caring about him this year. So
Mm-hmm.
a lot of the people that were acting all like distraught over this, I was just like, all right, shut up. Like you honestly do not care. Secondly, I think there was just a lot of hypocrisy with fans because other than them being fickle, which I honestly think it wouldn't have mattered what happened in this match or who Cena was against. People would be complaining about what happened, what didn't happen, what should have happened, whatever. Like it literally would not matter. But they're trying to flip it into, because for a lot of the weeks leading up to the show, once we knew it was going to be Gunther, people were complaining that his final opponent was Gunther. That was their main
No, they were.
problem.
They were people. You're right.
Then and then once Cena lost, then the problem isn't that it was Gunther that you didn't want in the match. It's now I'm mad that Cena lost, and then it's becoming I'm not mad that Cena lost. I'm mad at how Cena lost, and
Yeah.
I'm just
Why do
like,
you
okay,
care?
so you're proving that nothing would have mattered. But
They.
at the same time, those people who were complaining about the finish and didn't want it to be Gunther, they wanted a babyface in that position because they wanted them to get the John Cena rub. So would
Correct.
you feel the same way if that person beat Cena? Because if you wanted to see that babyface get the rub, that means he'd have to win. Did you want to see Cena get pinned 1, 2, 3? Because I feel like you'd still be pissed about that. Did you want to see him tap out? I'm sure you'd still be pissed about that. What if it was a count out? Would you be pissed about that? So that's what I'm saying. It's like there was absolutely nothing that could have come out of this match that people wouldn't have complained about. And so they're just grabbing onto something.
Anything.
And
Anything that they can
and
grab
that's what it is.
onto.
And then it's like I understand because like I'm a big John Cena fan and I have been for 23
We
years. So
both
I'm
have.
not like
We're both in
yeah,
that for over
it's
20
like
years.
yeah, and it's like I understand not wanting to see him lose or like go out on a loss, and I'm sad that we're never going to see him again cuz he's my all-time favorite wrestler, but I also feel like if you actually knew or listened to John Cena over however many years, but especially even going into this retirement tour, he made it very clear that he is all about doing what's best for business. And doing what was best for business was exactly what he did. And we saw that on Monday night. which we'll talk about at the
We're gonna
beginning
get
of the
in there.
show, if you can still sit here after watching Monday Night Raw and say anything negative about Cena tapping and Gunther winning, I don't know what planet you're on, and I don't know how to help you. Like,
WWE
legitimately.
fans showed their true colors on Saturday night and really showed who they are by their reactions and boos during, or the, not fully during, but at the beginning of the end of the match festivities, the tribute to John Cena, booing at
Hmm.
Triple H, bullshit during while Cena was sitting up in the middle of the
That
ring.
that pissed
Um,
me off so
it
bad because
did,
you're
and
booing Cena.
yeah,
You're booing
exactly.
Cena.
And that's why WWE fans showed their true colors, that they're WWE fans and not wrestling fans, proving once again that there is a true
Or
difference.
a John Cena fan. You're
That
not a
is
John Cena fan because
no, that's true.
you think you're booing Triple H.
No,
You're
but
not.
you're booing him, and that's another distinction that like in that moment, there's three different fandoms that you can be. Is that crazy? That's wrestling for you. So like in that, I mean, I'm not surprised. I mean, 29 years old. I've sat through a lot of eras of wrestling, so that didn't
Yeah.
surprise me, and it didn't take away. I I was still emotional, and I mean, I could talk for an hour here simply about what John Cena has meant to me as
Yeah.
someone to look up to,
Right.
for just life outside of wrestling. So like it was a great send off for him in that regard, and the leaving of the sneakers in the middle of the ring, like that's it, and yeah, then life after John Cena happened on Monday night, starting off with the dude who retired him, which we'll talk about. But I want it from the peeps because we have been royal rambling.
Hmm.
See my Sarah, see my hat. See,
I
it's
see
because
it.
it's
Yeah.
because it's almost secret time. It's almost Rumble season.
I know, but it's in Saudi, so I feel like it's gonna fucking suck. Also, R.I.P. to those women having to wear full long
The
sleeve
long
pant
match. The
outfits for the
long
Rumble.
match.
Damn.
That is a long match. That is.
I can only hope that they're allowed to wear like mesh. So at least it's like something that can breathe.
Oh,
Because I'm like,
they're
girls, do not
definitely
wear
gonna be.
latex.
No, they'll be wearing
Don't make that
something.
mistake.
They
Yeah.
in a crazy way. They've done it 5 times already. How many times they've been over
Hmm.
at this point since like 2018? They know how long the rumble been going on. They're gonna find out, come up with some sort of solution. How hilarious that solution will be. I don't know. That's why we have this show to talk about it. But we got to hear from the people who tune in to said show to hear us talk about said things. Starting with our main man, Nathaniel. Who do you guys want to see Becky Lynch for Stephanie for the championship later this year or next? I think that's down the
Well, this
pipeline
year
maybe, but this
and
year's
this
like
year's over in two
over.
weeks. So,
Which I think
um,
next week we should probably do our best of 2025.
yeah.
I was just thinking that.
I think eventually, uh, I don't know. I feel like we're probably gonna end up seeing like Stephanie versus Rhea or something. I feel like that might be what they want at Mania. So I don't know how Becky fits into that right
I don't
now.
know either. Sophia and Alex cried a little bit on Saturday night. Me too, girl. Me too. No shame. When he retired, and hoping to get a Switch 2 for Christmas. Me too. I want to play the new Mario Kart game on it because it's like open world. It's awesome. I want to just drive around the dry desert, right? Don't you, Sarah? David, what's popping to you? Um, David Roscoe only saying what's up to Sarah. I see how it is. And then yes, Sophia saying how I took my photo shoot with Matt Kelly. Check out those photos on my Instagram at Patty Pitts. Repping my John Cena last time is now shirt, which Sarah, you might be having a Christmas present from old Captain Nonsense. Uh, Thanks to me being
Yeah.
there for John
Yeah.
Cena's last hurrah when he won the Intercontinental Championship in Boston, which is crazy.
Yeah.
That's gonna be a crazy sentence to tell people when I'm older. Like, yeah, I was at John Cena's when he won. Happy December 16th to you, Aaron. Uh, are you ready for Christmas? I don't know. I
No,
really
because I'm not
don't
done
know.
Christmas shopping.
Oh, I haven't. I barely started, but I have a small circle, so it's very easy.
Well, I'm already done for my sister and my nephew, and then I know what I'm getting for my brother-in-law, and I have one thing for my mom, but I'm like, it's not like a standalone gift. Like, I need something better. You know what I mean? Um, and then I've rewarded myself a lot. By getting myself a lot of Christmas presents. Like, I've
You
gotten
know
into
what?
Labubus, so
You're in there. We're in
yeah,
there.
I'm there
Okay,
right now. From
that's tough.
Whatnot, yeah, Whatnot's a dangerous place, bro.
Yeah, sponsor the house
So
show. New
it's
show on Underground.
yeah.
Love it. We love Whatnot over in the house. This is a good question, actually, and I think this is a great segue into our first topic too. Who was more
Mm-hmm.
hated, Roman after beating the Undertaker after WrestleMania 33? Please, I hope I'm right. And or Gunther last night on Monday Night Raw to open the
Gunther,
show.
1,000%.
I
In my
disagree.
opinion, this is why. Okay, uh, Cena. We knew it was Cena's last match. Um, and people didn't want him to go out with a loss. And not only did he go out with a loss, but he tapped for the first time in 20 years.
Hmm.
Um, and I think the difference, but the reason why I say it is because I think that Roman was already hated before he went against Undertaker because he was shoved down our throat, and so people were just sick of him. So I feel like that just added to it, but this made people like legitimately hate Gunther. Like they didn't like him because he was like a heel and a bad guy and like, you know, a dominant champion and whatever, but I
Hmm.
feel like this elevated him to a level that like only I would say recently we've seen Dom get that level of reaction, and I just
Hmm.
don't know that that is this. To me that seems more than what Roman got, but
I see more hate from when Roman took the ring after WrestleMania because Gunther got the chance to speak and not only speak, he definitely got some. He would like there are people in the crowd who like Gunther. I'm they are, and it
there
felt
was like,
like
did
they
you see
were
the one
just
dude that they like zoomed in on, and there was one guy that was clapping? I was
yeah.
like, that would be me.
I
That
did.
would
I
be
did see that.
me.
No, I
I
did
was
see
like,
that. The dude, I was like,
that would be
I
me.
lost it. I
Yeah, I was like, that's me.
lost it at that. And with Gunther, you know what he is. Like he's supposed to be the villain. So you're hating him, but that's the point. With Roman, we were supposed to acknowledge him as the big dog in his yard. And to be honest, we wanted to just kick that puppy to the curb. We wanted someone else. We wanted like Seth
Yeah, because he
Rollins,
sucked ass.
Finn Balor, Kevin Owens. Kevin Owens and Jericho should have main evented the goddamn show, but we didn't get that.
Finn Balor. Finn
I
Balor.
that was the second person I said yes, but I'm gonna
Yep.
put
Yep.
Kevin Owens over Finn Balor.
Oh yeah.
Personal, but yeah, like that's the difference. And last night, I mean, let's just segue over into it. Oh, look at you being a peach right there. Yeah, Gunther's promo last night made me even more of a Gunther fan than I am
Hell yeah.
already. Like, I obviously was like cheering for the man on Saturday, but god damn,
I
if there's
was.
a bad guy, that's blasphemous coming out of your your yard. If we want to, it's kind of blasphemous, but any like Gunther's such a cool bad guy to like because he is what he is, and he says what he does. With I kind of lost my train of thought because I'm going back and forth. So yeah. Um,
Oh, okay.
what did you?
Well,
What was your highlights of it? Because I'm gonna get the promo up here because we need to go through it, whether you or me find it. Because
um,
Sarah, the words that he spoke, and I wanted your thoughts on this because I have it up. When the crowd started chanting, "You tapped out." There's your layup for.
Fucking A, dude. Shut the
Of
fuck
course
up.
they
The
are.
thing is, well, and the thing is, though, is the irony in this is that all those motherfuckers stood up and yeeted. Do you realize how much of an insult that is to Jey Uso to chant that at Gunther? You're putting down Jay because you're like, haha, you tapped out to Jey Uso of all
Yeah.
people.
Why
Like,
not?
and then your ass is standing up and yeeting. Bro, sit the fuck down. Second of all, he won the title again after that, so it doesn't really mean anything. Also, John Cena tapped, 48 hours before. So not great timing to use that as an insult to Gunther. But anyway, I was very concerned about how they were going to go about Gunther, like how they were going to present him after beating Cena. Um, and I just wanted to make sure that they like did it the right way, and I feel like they could not have done it any better. Like I was smiling and laughing for like the full duration of his
Oh,
entrance
I was laughing. I'll
to,
give you that.
like, yeah, everything he said, the walking up the ramp, going back, his entire walk in the back, and just like completely gloating
So
to
good.
everybody. um then I just was like, my immediate thought too with the booze, when the second that his music hit, I
Hmm.
was immediately saying, this is exactly why Gunther needed to be his Cena's last opponent, and exactly why Cena needed to lose. Um, because that is what they were trying to do. And I think, I mean, you can bring up the Jey Uso thing, and I think that that is legitimately going to be a stain on his career, and they really fucked up by having him do that because, yeah, we're 8 months later and people are still chanting it. And it's like, this is what they should have been doing with him the entire time, just making him an absolute destroyer and getting people to hate him that way. Do not embarrass him because you're trying to cater to this stupid motherfucker and you needed him to tap out. Like, it's just so dumb because now it doesn't make any sense. He's now Cena's last opponent and he made him tap out for the first time in 20 years, but people are still going to be talking about how he tapped at Mania to Jey Uso. Like, why?
You're not
Michael
the first
P.S.
person
Hayes.
to. You're not the first
Why?
person to bring this up. Luke over at Wrestle Talk was talking about this on their podcast. Him and Holly Davis, and once he said it was very you coded. Like I felt like
Yeah.
you were saying it, and I don't mean that in a negative way because it is a good point. I at the time, I was kind of ragging on you for saying how this is not good. This is not going to make sense. I'm like, just enjoy the moment and my positivity pits vibes. I tried, but sometimes you can be positive. It just ain't going to happen. All right, facts are facts. Facts aren't great sometimes, and the facts are that him tapping was not the best decision. He should have just passed out to Jay. The only counter argument I'll make to you is that he tapped to his own move, and every superhero or villain needs some sort of kryptonite. So maybe that's his kryptonite, is his own moves. And if that's the case, fine. He didn't tap to an ankle lock by Chad Gable. He never tapped to that.
Mm-hmm.
He did not tap out to an armbar or the Anaconda Vice, or did he? No, CM Punk pinned him.
No, it was the sleeper hold. Yeah. It
No,
was
no,
the
but I'm
exact
saying
same
did
thing.
Punk? No, I'm saying did Punk make him tap or did Punk hit him with a GTS to go to sleep to win? I'm pretty
Oh
sure it was
yeah,
a
no,
GTS.
he pinned him. Yeah.
Okay, so then there's my point. It's that it was only his move. So then, okay, I'm okay with that being the case. But if we do that again, yeah, that's where I'm gonna have real issues and be more on your side.
Well, and that's why I'm saying, like, because we've argued about wins and losses and if they matter, if they don't, or like thinking about what a result means for both people or whoever, all of the people that are involved in a match, and that it matters because, like, Gunther losing to Jay in the way that he did matters. If he was going to lose to Jay, I wouldn't be happy about it, but there were ways to do it that didn't make Gunther look like an idiot. And they made it the easiest way to make him look like an idiot, and they're still paying for it 8 months later. Like, he's coming off of the biggest win of his career, the biggest
Mm,
heel starter, for him in beating John
mm.
Cena, and the crowd is still chanting, "You tapped out." It's 8 months later. Why are we still talking about this? He's won the title back since then. Like, he's done so many things, and he's now just coming off of making John Cena tap out. And that's something that people are chanting. Like, that's a problem. And the only reason they did it is because they wanted to catapult Jey Uso. And it's
It
like,
didn't
you
work.
did not care at whose expense they did that with. And it's like, and Gunther, you shouldn't have done that. I'm sorry. It should never have happened. Um,
It shouldn't have. Damn
I
right.
appreciate this.
Damn right he's the man.
Gunther is the man.
Sarah, we need
Nathaniel
to
says
bring
Gunther is the next tribal chief.
he's the Master Chief. I would like to see him and Halo get in the ring. Anyways, it's enough of the nonsense. I love you tapped out. He should have stopped him by saying like see you tapped out or whatever. But I love how he just where is it? I gotta find the quote because he said John Cena gave up and I made him tap like a little bitch. And that
Yeah,
was it. Just on
I
the
thought
mic boom.
that was gonna be it. Yeah.
Me too.
But I love that he kept going back. Like, I love that that wasn't it, because I'm like, then it just became infuriating, because people, if that was it was pissing people off. But the fact he kept going back and like kept gloating only made people more angry.
Oh, they were so
So
pissed.
I think they did. And then the walk back to the parking lot, and then of course we saw him get in his car, but AJ Styles was leaning on the car and had nothing to say, which I thought that was interesting. But because of Gunther retiring Cena and retiring Goldberg earlier this year, people are turning ahead and being like, okay, are we going to see Gunther be the head guy that's like the looking at is the retire? And people have mentioned next year we could see Brock Lesnar retire. AJ Styles has basically already said he has maybe 1 year. You could even argue Roman Reigns has hinted at next year being his last year. So there are a few people that he could retire, and this to me felt like this was kind of a setup to like, we're going to revisit this in the future. I don't know if that means he's going to retire AJ, because I would assume AJ's not going to retire like at Mania. But I'm into it. And hey AJ.
Oh,
Hey
when
AJ.
he hit just one of these, and then from this into the smile up to his ears, driving
Yeah.
away. I was like, that's my supervillain. That
Yep.
is just pure final boss
So
status,
good.
which to me he feels like a final boss of careers and like the
I know.
career
I almost
ender.
hate that The Rock has that name, because it feels like so.
Another thing The Rock took.
No, it just feels like that fits
It does.
Gunther. You know what I mean?
It
So it's
really,
like
it
they have
really
to
does.
come up with something that feels just as fitting. You know?
And a career ender is
I don't know.
definitely it. Career ender.
Something.
That gimmick, man, it's different than Legend Killer. You know, to
Yeah.
me, it like Ender when
Legend
it
Ender.
just
Yeah.
it's just hits so different, and it puts Gunther on the proper platform he deserves to be on in WWE. He needs to be
And if
put
you
on this pedestal that he is on a different playing field than everyone else because he truly is, and you cannot put him in the show organically. You know, he is his own person that you need to protect, take care of for the character gimmick, whatever you want to say. And it's stars like Cena and Punk and whoever that he's faced that he's only became a bigger star out of it.
Well, and I think something that stood out to me too from Raw, and then I would say even because he beat Cena, if I've talked about it a lot, that there aren't really any legitimate heels in WWE right now. And I think that it's fair to argue that Triple H has a hard time creating a legitimate heel. I think the main one we say is Logan Paul, but even then, Logan Paul is hated outside of wrestling,
He's
so
just
it's
a
not his
heel.
character.
No, that's just
Yeah, but that's how he is in his day-to-day life. So like I don't count that, but I feel like Gunther like is that guy. We haven't had a guy that's just going to get booed mercilessly because people just hate him and don't want to see him win or whatever. So I think this was exactly what I've been wanting for Gunther. Now I just want to make sure that they continue to move in the right direction with him and don't ruin what they just started for him, because this really does feel like a revamping of his career, because I wouldn't say that this was the best year for Gunther. Like, I know he was a two-time champion and whatever, but with some of the, I mean, we have to remember, he dealt with Jey Uso at the beginning of the year for 3 straight months, because from the Royal Rumble to Mania, it was just all about Jey. After that, he had to deal with Pat McAfee. Then he had to deal with Goldberg. And then he, dropped the title to CM Punk so he could be written off TV for 3 months. So it's like, this wasn't the best
He did have to get
year.
nose surgery. Had to fix that face of his.
I know. Blade his forehead. I was like, dude, I'm sure they needed you to be bloody, but like you went ham. You went ham on your face.
Listen, any wrestler that commits to the bit and will put on some color in the face, we love it. That's old school. And the heat that he got too. We haven't even brought up the fact that he was walked to his car by security because fans were booing him outside of the arena.
No, he had no security with him. I thought they were at his bus, but they did not walk with him.
Oh, he had people with him.
Oh, I didn't see that. But like again, grown ass men following him to his bus. Like it's one of those things that's like I can't decide how I feel about it, because it was like, okay, cool, you're getting that kind of heat that like I've been begging for him to have, but then at the same time I'm like, you're putting him in a dangerous situation by following him to his bus when you're a grown-ass man, bro. Like,
but that's right, like Sarah, like that's when wrestling is at its best, when you have just these sad men going to the car. And it's one thing if it's kids or even teens, like cool, you still believe in Santa, but goddamn, what is big ass men that are just they could be my father. It's kind of it's awesome.
What's even funnier is that he gets on a bus. You know what I mean? Like that's like the ultimate FU. It's like he didn't get in a car.
No,
he got in a bus.
Yeah, I'm gonna go lay down on my pimped out RV.
My tour bus.
Here.
Yeah, no, that massive new contract I got like not that long ago. Yeah, the bus was part of it.
Yeah, you see that bed? I can go watch Netflix and then drive away from you. You have to get in your sad Honda Civic.
Yeah.
The radio's broken. The heat doesn't work, and it's 2 degrees outside. Yeah, I got heating pads everywhere in my RV.
I have a kitchen in my car. You know, I have a toilet.
Driving on 995. No, let's just make some eggs real quick.
I'll take a shit when we're in the middle of nowhere. I take shits better than you.
Can you take a shit in your Tesla? Can you?
No. Definitely not. Definitely not.
No, it's back. I love it. I love that we're back with this, and it's great. No, it's great. And that was only the first part of the show.
Yeah.
That's all we got. Oh, Underground came in. What's up? Let's show their new network here. What's up? Poppin'. We're going to go check out Underground Sports Philadelphia. Shout out to the NNO fam. Love it. Now, what do we got next, Sarah?
We got wrong one. The Usos versus the New Day, which was like a fucking nightmare for me. But I love that they're still coming out to It's Just Me, Us.
Yeah, that really, really grinds my gears. And
me too.
Maybe the reason that I'm leaning more towards your side of the fence when it comes to the Jey Uso stuff. Because, it's not just him, it's them. Let's get our pronouns right. All right.
But did you also know, like, Jimmy, you could tell just, like, felt awkward because they're, like, going through the crowd, you know, doing the eating thing. And he, like, just doesn't want to keep doing it. And it's like, well, why would he when the song says it's just me, Oos? It's like, well, it's not, though.
It's
But
unbelievable.
anyway,
I don't get it. I hate it. But yeah.
I know. Um, so we know that the Usos reunited. We know the Usos won. I think the point was to elevate the tag division. Did this accomplish that? I would say slightly. I think it's I mean, yeah, I guess. I mean, I think that like AJ and Dragon Lee being the champions definitely helps a little bit. Because they're both really good. I think that the random pairing of them together isn't the greatest because I'm somebody who does not love, you know, bedfellow tag teams being champions. I don't love it. Like it can work every now and then, but like I think if you're trying to legitimize a tag team division, we need to look
All right.
what the
Fair.
Usos in the are. So I do like that.
Mm-hmm.
But
No,
yeah, I mean, it was a fine match, you know.
It's fine. It really just
fine.
took me back to 2016. Like that's really what it was. There's a nice throwback.
Yeah.
Raw rewind if you want to play to the bit of the show.
It's just
but
it's just that Kofi wasn't Jamaican anymore.
Kofi wasn't Jamaican anymore. It's fine. You know, he's now grieving. He's in the grieving process.
Yeah.
It does.
Grayson
It does.
Waller
I
looks
do
good.
like he looks great. He's touring Saudi Arabia right now with all of them. It looks good. It's fine. You know, to me the tag division needed these two teams to get back in the mix again. And with bedfellow tag teams, I do like them. I have no problem with them if it makes sense. You know, they're two high flying, fast, athletic dudes in the ring tagging together. It makes sense. It feels like an old TNA thrown together tag team, which I'm a fan of. I just would like to see something similar to what we saw on SmackDown with their tag division. It just really feels like they're only fighting for the belts because we need to be the tag champs. Like that's just main objective. There's no other underlying story that's going to make me tune in for a backstage segment. You know, and that's
the tag division on SmackDown has taken such a bad turn because they put the titles on the Wyatts, and it's like it's not a problem, but they're not putting them on TV. So it's like it's kind of funny because we were talking about the Raw division needed to be more like the SmackDown division. Now they've kind of like switched. Like not that the Raw division has gotten much better, but like at least we see the tag team champions, you know.
No, yeah.
I don't know. I see people in the chat like Jackson and Nathaniel talking about how do you think that this is going to lead to Jay turning on Jimmy?
I would say opposite, really, at this point.
I hope not. I don't want to see it. I don't want to see Jimmy versus Jay ever again in my lifetime. As long as I am on planet Earth, I never want to see it again.
I don't want to see any. I just want them to be tag teaming. Maybe if Jimmy wants to go for a singles title, he does. And Jay can be in his corner, you know, just stuff like that. We saw it with the New Day that it can work. And it makes no sense for them to break up again. And if they were to do like a one-on-one, it doesn't need to be on a WrestleMania or something anymore. Maybe just friendly competition on like a house show. Like I don't need to see that shit anymore. So
yeah. I personally never want to see it again. So yeah. Moving on. Paul Heyman still does not appear to be that much of a fan of Logan Paul, which I get it, you know? I get it.
I can't say I don't.
Yeah. But he definitely wants Braun to focus on the task at hand, which is his title match against CM Punk on the first episode of Raw in January. So he doesn't want him doing any tomfoolery. Okay. So he wants him to focus because he wants him at his best to face Punk, because this is going to be the biggest match of Braun Breaker's main, or well, at least on the main roster.
Main roster, his
Um,
biggest main roster match. Actually, no, it's
yeah,
still his biggest match of his career. Still is.
yeah, I think that there's an argument there. Um, I always, I mean, as far as storylines go, this makes sense, obviously. But I always think this kind of stuff is funny because we're going so many weeks between PLEs, and so it's like they're gonna have kind of a hard time to keep Braun like not doing anything for like 3 weeks.
I know.
But then also they
He-
fucked up again, and they have a Saturday night's main event the week before the Rumble.
I
Why do you
did see
keep
that.
doing that?
Because it's just they don't do house shows anymore, and they're glorified house shows.
But like, can't you
That's why.
space it out better? Like, have it 3 weeks before or
No,
something
they're
like that.
not.
Like, why do you have to do it the week before?
They're because they
You know?
they want money, and
I
it's
know.
that's what it is. It all comes down to money, Sarah. I hate to break it to you, but that's.
What do you think Braun's chances are against Punk?
I would say next is 0. I feel
So
like
if
this is Braun. Excuse me, I was flipping it. I think Braun is going to win it, or
you think he's gonna beat Punk,
I have a feeling that we're gonna see Braun get crowned.
can you
at the
imagine if they
Netflix.
do that and then Punk wins the fucking Rumble? I would kill myself.
I don't think that
It's
would
so-
happen because they want to make the Netflix anniversary into a big thing.
Yeah.
It's part of the business end of things. And by doing that, it'd be a huge moment for Netflix that they can relive. And okay, if you want to take off the business side of things, then let's look back into the wrestling world. It only makes sense at this point. Braun is, I would say, at this point, so primed, ready for a world title shot. It's just a matter of when. There's no other thing that I can put him in right now that would make more sense.
Don't you think him winning the Rumble?
No,
You don't think so?
no, put the strap.
Because
on.
like, do you really think Punk's gonna lose the title already? he's not
There's
even
a masked
defended it.
man. Doesn't matter.
Well,
We don't. We're in
Um,
an era where Reigns. We're not going to see Roman's Reigns. We're going to see like, bang bang boom bam Reigns. 'cause you
Jackson
need-
says, I think Braun wins it in January, then loses to Punk at Mania thanks to Masked Man Seth Rollins.
Ooh, I
Do
like
we
how
really
just
think
have
Seth
masked
would
men.
help Punk? Do we think Seth would help Punk? Ah, yeah.
No, we wouldn't. No, we wouldn't.
So then he's not going to cost him the championship.
No, I would say masked man like someone else. But I like how we have masked man. Like that's just like a thing. I would like to keep that going. How we just have like masked men for a year.
I guess we'll see.
We shall.
Yeah, I don't know.
see.
The main thing that I don't want to see with the Rumble, I don't want to see Roman Reigns win. I think that's fucking crazy that anyone is
That's
saying that.
ridiculous. What? No. Who? Are you
It's so
seeing
embarrassing.
saying that?
Because this is the thing too, kind of similar to what I was saying earlier about like people changing their mind on Cena's last match and who it should be against and whether they should win or not. It's the same thing with how people treat the Rumble winner and the Money in the Bank winner. It like depends on who we're talking about, what opinion they're passionate about. You either want the Rumble winner and the Money in the Bank winner to be a guy or girl that needs, the Rumble win or the briefcase to like elevate them and either make them a serious threat as a main eventer or just to like bring them to that level, or you don't care and you just want people to win if it makes sense. And it's like there are some people that are very much against people like a Cody, a Roman, a Seth winning the Rumble because they think, well, that's not fair. And they're the ones advocating for Roman to win. I'm like, to me this year, if I had to guess right now, I think whoever wins the Rumble is challenging for the World Heavyweight title, and that leaves Cody open, or I guess Drew. We'll see. But like to me, as of right now, it feels like there's more story around the World Heavyweight title, like way too many people trying to go after it than there is with Cody. So that leaves Cody open, and if you want to see Cody versus Roman doesn't have to win the Rumble for that to happen.
No,
So-
it doesn't. No, the Rumble is not like Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Because I was saying, I was
Uh,
like, I wouldn't be surprised if Roman got booed if he won if he won the
Oh,
Rumble,
I
and people
don't
like
think
that would never
Roman
happen,
Reigns
and I'm like,
can would go to 2050. Would go to Philly. Like
that he could what?
I don't I think if Roman Reigns like he doesn't need to win the Royal Rumble anymore. I think it's cursed
No.
after Philly. After Philly happened and that Rumble win, that was cursed. Like Roman Reigns can never win the Royal Rumble again.
Yeah, it's just no. Um, and then we saw some more between Asuka and Kyrie, Rhea and Io. We see Asuka missed Rhea, so clearly this feud is heating up. Did they make this match official yet for the January 5th Raw? They
They
have,
did
right?
not, but what they made official last night was next week excuse me, Rhea versus Asuka
Sick.
because
All
Rhea
right. Well,
stomps into Pierce's office, towel
mhm.
here, wiping off the mist, and is like, "I want Asuka." Pierce is like, "Well, how about next week?" It's like perfect.
Yeah.
Well, it's official. Love it.
Yeah, I mean, it feels like this is inevitable. It feels like Rhea and Io are probably going to win as well. Um, so it looks like they're trying the Charlotte and Alexa experiment with Rhea and Io, and I'm here for it honestly because I I think when we've been talking about like the women's division and I guess specifically on Raw, we were saying how it was such a benefit for Becky Lynch to be, the women's intercontinental champion, and how the matches that she was able to have like elevated those girls, and it definitely elevated the title. And I think that the women's tag titles are, I mean, they're already like a cursed title. They're cursed championships,
Yeah, they
but
really
I
are. Yeah.
yeah. Although Alexa and Charlotte got out skate, they're
Well,
free. They're totally
Alexa's
fine.
got the Wyatt stuff, like
Yeah,
and then Charlotte's royalty, so
I guess. But I do think that it's good to have a break from like Rhea in the women's title picture, because I think that it's like Charlotte, where it was like she was not involved in anything that didn't revolve around the title, and then it just becomes tiresome. Like, she definitely didn't get booed or treated similarly to Charlotte, but Rhea hasn't been on the main roster nearly as long as Charlotte. So I think that it is good to have them involved in like compelling stories that aren't revolving the women's championship. And I don't know that anyone could have predicted, like, if you even asked like 6 months ago if we would see Rhea and Io tag teaming, I don't think a single person would say yeah, or that they could potentially be tag team champions. So I think it's interesting.
I think it is. I think we need to see Rhea and Io be tag champs.
Yeah,
I
I
think
think
we
they
need to
probably
see it.
will. If
We
they're
need to
going to
see
have
it.
Punk lose at the January 5th Raw, they need something happy, and this might be happy.
It
you
might
know?
be. I did like the Japanese vignette they had.
Oh,
I
yeah.
was a big fan of that.
Yeah. Yeah. So good. Um, and sticking with the women, did you enjoy Maxine versus Ivy?
I did. I know. I enjoyed the match. It's nice to see progression in Maxine. It's not
Mm hmm.
100% yet, but I mean, she'll probably even tell you that.
Yeah.
But it's entertaining. It's nice. It's growth that you're seeing. The biggest thing was she does the little kip up thing
Mm
and then
hmm.
doesn't go into a caterpillar.
Yeah.
Weren't like,
So she's trying
she's
to be more serious for
exactly.
sure.
So with that, you can see her training with Natty Neihart is paying off. And I was reading on Fightful Select that there's a lot of praise with the vignettes going on um, with Maxine and Natty, and that they're trying to highlight both of them within it to try to get you to see that there is a little bit more of a deeper side to Maxine than just happy go lucky. That no, she's taking this serious, and it shows in the ring. The
Mm-hmm.
only critique that I saw was that it's Ivy Nile, and that there's nobody else for her to face right now in the division except for Ivy Nile.
Yeah.
And I feel bad because it's not completely wrong. It's not
Well, and it
completely
makes me wonder, like, what is the end game? Because we all said we didn't think that Maxine was going to be champion for too long. Like, it was a good story to let her win finally, and a way to kind of legitimize her a little bit and praise her for how much work and effort that she has put in over the past year. But I mean, she didn't strike anybody as somebody that would be champion for months on end. So it just makes you wonder, like, who is going to be the person that takes the title off of her, and how does that story come about? Is it just going to be Becky? Like, is Becky just going to come back and get her revenge, or like, how is it going to be? Is it going to be Natty that like turns on her, or what? Like, I don't know. But yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what they do, because there aren't that many girls that are in a position to fight her. And there aren't that many girls that, because I think that part of the problem maybe with people not really getting super invested in this match specifically is that neither of them are like super experienced with wrestling. I mean, obviously Ivy has more experience, but Maxine going against somebody like a Becky Lynch, that is going to give us a better match, because Becky is so seasoned. She understands how to make someone who's not as experienced look as good as possible, which is not going to be the case with someone like Ivy, obviously, because she's not a seasoned person the way that Becky or Charlotte or Asuka, so it makes you wonder if we're going to see more of like that caliber of women, because they can, if they wanted to throw Rhea Ripley into it, I'm not saying to do it, but like you can have a top woman going for the Intercontinental title, because the women's world title is not available to them, so that it's like you can go after this title and it would still be fine. The problem is it would have to be a heel, and there aren't many of those
What
now.
are your thoughts on Roxanne challenging Maxine
I'm
at some point?
I'm into it.
I feel like
The only problem, of course,
there.
Yeah, I think there is, but then we would just have to be like, okay, does that mean that Raquel and Liv are going to go for the tag titles again? I mean, I guess they can adjust it, because
it's all about Judgment Day, because their story is Judgment Day has all the gold. So as long as Judgment Day has the gold, everyone's happy. And Liv Raquel tag team, that's gold. And then you have Roxanne becoming the women's IC champion, that's gold. Dom's got gold.
I think it just comes down to
what's Finn and JD
what happens from this.
That's true.
Because
there's a lot. There's a lot.
Yeah, because Raquel had her women's world title match against Stephanie Vaquer, and of course you knew Nikki Bella was going to make an appearance, because obviously she wants a rematch, and she's made that very clear over the past few weeks. So she messed that up. So I think, and also fucking gave Raquel a giant egg on her head.
See that bump? Whippa.
Girl. So because this is unfinished business, I would say that Roxanne versus Maxine is off the table for now. I think we have to see how this turns out, because if they're going to move away from Raquel versus Stephanie, then we can see even maybe Raquel go after the women's world title, or maybe it is Roxanne. But whoever it is, then we know who the other one will go after the women's world titles, or tag titles. Jeez Louise, with Liv. But anyway, are you invested in this at all? Because if you ask me, I'm not. It's not just because it's Nikki Bella. I'm just like, I'm not interested in her character, because we've just seen it so many times, where it's just like, I'm a legend, you should respect me. Like, I did this and I did that. It's like, all right, like, I don't know. To me, it's just like not interesting. It's just kind of boring. And their match the first time was not great. So it's like, do I want to see it a second time around? No.
I'm sorry. I was listening, but I was just turning on NXT, and Thea Hale is now the new women's North American champion.
Who did she beat? Fallon?
Blake Monroe.
Oh, Blake Monroe. Yeah. Wow. All right.
Prop it up. Thea Hale. New women's.
With Joe Hendry. That random pairing.
That's awesome. I love it. I love nonsense like that when it comes to my wrestling. Oh, but yeah, to answer your question simply so we can go to the next topic, I care about this match because Stephanie Vaquer is in it. I do like Nikki Bella. I'm not the biggest fan of her.
Version of Nikki Bella.
I think it's fine. It makes sense. The it doesn't feel forced in the legend stuff. Yes, I've seen it millions and millions of times, but I mean, I wake up for the millionth of time every day, so like it's okay, and it's not like it's a fine match. That's the easiest way to put it. Is that like I have no issue with Nikki Bella in the ring. Yes, she like isn't the best, what yada yada, but like Stephanie McClure crushes it in the ring. I love watching her perform. So if she's in there with Nikki Bella and I get to watch a Nikki Bella entrance one more time, sure. Like
Oy.
fucking sure.
All right, moving on. Anyway, um, so CM Punk
Dynamath.
made his yeah. CM Punk came out. He returned for the first time in a couple weeks, and he was just talking some shit to the Vision, but it was definitely pointed at Braun Breaker and the Steiners because he called those brothers out.
Well, he
Um,
called out AJ Lee. You can't be doing that. Can't
well,
be.
I mean, that was a pretty funny thing. Like, I can even take your wife. Like, yeah, buddy. Why not? They do it with Becky and Seth. So fair game, brother. Um, so how? I guess okay. So the way that they're setting this up, like, do you feel like we needed to see more like heat between them to be more interested in this? Like, I know that the match was made official, whatever, but I feel like, do we need to try and make it as deep as they're trying to make it to like hype up the match? Do you know what I'm saying? Because I feel
I
like people
do in a
were
way.
excited to see like the once they announced that this was going to happen. I feel like okay, people were ready, But then now they're like trying to add some levels to it and making it seem like it's an actual heated rivalry. And I'm like, I don't know. I mean, I guess it's interesting, but like I don't really care. I just want to see the match.
The best comparison I can give is how you have like a bonfire outside your house, like in the backyard. And you just get some
Mm-hmm.
wood, you'll like light a little match, you get a little fire going, and then it smokes and yada yada. That's what this match was. A nice little bonfire, coal up, like, oh yeah, it's great. I'm excited. But when you throw in I can take your wife too, and bring your stupid dad or your dad and stupid brother too. It's
Mm-hmm.
like pouring gasoline on that bonfire. It doesn't need it. It's gonna get out of control. But
Yeah.
goddamn, you want to see huge fires sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, like that's what this is. It's adding more to the already lit fire. And at this point, if
Yeah.
you want to make this Netflix anniversary the biggest thing it be, then sure. It didn't feel like it was totally out of left field. I was fine with the call out. Like it wasn't too over the line. And we got a nice little Steiner math reference into a nice little punchline, as you see on
Mm-hmm.
our lower third banner here. So like you get a lot of that. I'm happy with it. And CM Punk cooks on the mic. So
When he's actually allowed to, or like
that is a difference.
is actually
That is
in I don't know, a deeper rivalry. You know what I mean? Because I feel like he's been pretty tame for the most part
because
since he's returned.
I saw someone say after this promo they said, "Oh, and I can see now they really didn't care about his J feud." And it's like, "Oh yeah, there's a lot more passion behind this promo
No, you know
than
why they didn't care about it? It was more so because they were concerned about how bad it would make Jay look because he can't keep up. That's the problem. That's what I'm talking about when I'm saying wrestlers have to dumb themselves down to be in a feud with him. We didn't see, Gunther didn't really have great matches with him. What does that tell you? This is a man that has like some of the best matches in WWE history over the last 10 years. So if you want to talk about Meltzer, has the most 5-star rated matches out of like everybody in WWE. And you're saying he didn't have a good match? You're saying that CM Punk didn't have a good mic back and forth with him? I can't imagine why. Like,
what's
there's a
the
common
common
denominator
denominator?
here.
There it is.
Yeah, so
Jinx.
that's what I'm talking about.
That's what we're talking
Anyway,
about.
Logan
Um,
Paul,
he
he's
did.
been consistently around, which I guess is nice to see. I hate that he's in the Vision. I get that it makes sense, but I'm
It
just like,
makes
oh
so much
god.
sense. You can
I
hate it,
get
but
it.
it's true.
We talked about it. It makes sense. He's not, he's under 30. If we're talking about the future, whatever. Um, Yeah, so obviously this was continuing with Rey Mysterio, but it was a fine match. It's whatever. Who cares? I think that the masked man thing is the biggest story,
It
right? Like
is.
that's what we care about. Um, all of our ideas of who it might be. I mean, I think we'd been saying for a while
Before
who,
when we were in the artist streams, and then we moved to the
even
river.
before there was a masked man, we were saying who we thought the next one was going to be. So that's why I feel like we were ahead of the game because we didn't wait until there was a mystery man running around saying it was going to be Austin Theory. We've been saying, okay, who else is going to join? We said Austin Theory. And that was who it was revealed as. And I felt like, I don't know, I was kind of disappointed with people's reactions because they were like, and the most anticlimactic reveal ever goes to. And I'm like, just because you kind of figured out who it was does not mean it wasn't exciting. Like, do you not, like, how are you not excited about what this could possibly mean for Austin Theory and or the Vision? I'm
I
excited
think
about
there's
it.
multiple men. That's where my mind goes. I feel like there's multiple men. I
I'm
feel like this is just
interested.
the first of many.
I know. Imagine if next week we see another one and it's like Theory's already out there,
That's like
you know?
that's what I'm saying. Like that's where
It's,
I feel like this is
yeah.
going.
I think that is, I mean, it's, I think that's impactful. Uh, and maybe we don't find out who that one is until, like, most people assume that there's going to be some shenanigans that happen on the January 5th Raw. And it might be something where maybe they try to ban the Vision from ringside, but then we get the masked man, and maybe that's how Braun wins, you know?
Exactly.
Because I think a lot of people think that Theory is going to be the reason that Braun wins, but maybe if he gets banned, then we get the other one,
There's gonna be another
or
masked man.
another one. Yeah, there's going to be more Los Americanos
It's
showing up.
the Los
Um,
Americanos versus the masked men.
yeah.
That's my fantasy book.
Um, I'm like, it's funny because I'm kind of torn about this, and I said that before when we were talking about uh, who the first masked man was, and we thought that it was going to be Theory. I'm torn on it. Like, I'm really excited for him because he's been off TV for, I don't know, what feels like a year. I think it's close to a year. Um, so I'm
For a
excited that
while.
he's back, and he's getting put in a position which should help him, I don't know, like, succeed. But at the same time, I wanted him to be a babyface so bad. So that's what I'm like kind of upset about because I really wanted. I just wanted to see babyface Theory, but I love this idea too from Final Boss,
Okay.
saying that Theory is working for Seth and not the Vision. That has what I've been saying
That
was
could
like the
that
best swerve ever.
it
That
could
he's
be.
going to be a mole that was sent in by Seth to align himself with the Vision so that he gets inside, reports back to Seth, and then that is what helps Seth come back. That's why I'm like, because Seth with Theory as baby faces, yeah. Yeah. And that gets so much heat on them too. You know what I mean? Like if we find out that like Theory was working and it's like that makes him look so good if he was working for Seth and help Seth
Yeah.
win. And it makes the the heels look even worse. You know what I mean? So
For
I'm
sure.
into it.
No, I'm a big fan of that. The layers to that story, it's great. I would be a
And
big
that's
fan
why
of
he
that.
came and he did the stomp.
Yes. That's the only thing that makes sense.
Yeah. And I mean, and maybe it is like they have another person. I mean, people were saying that the other one was maybe Montez Ford. I could be into that too. I think that's an interesting group. Um,
Mm-hmm.
but yeah, I don't know. I think this is something that could be exciting for a little bit. Uh, and again, just similar to the way that I was hoping that Gunther was going to be put in a position to do well after beating Cena. I hope that Theory gets put in a position to do well after this reveal because I think that Theory can be a foundational piece of the young era that we're supposed to believe is coming into WWE, but they just have to use him right and let him do what he can do. So we can only hope that they'll allow that to happen because they haven't yet. And yeah, I don't know. I'm interested. I'm intrigued.
Oh, I'm intrigued too.
But yeah, that was Raw.
That was Raw. And we are now on to NXT right now. We got Dynamite tomorrow, and then the Super Show is back. We are back for the Super Show on Thursday, where we will be discussing everything else that's going on in the wrestling world. Any other thoughts that I may have, or Sarah might have, or you might have in the comments here. That's why you gotta tune in and follow us on all social media platforms. In the meantime, all right, hit that subscribe button if you're watching on YouTube right now, and that bell notification to know every time we go live and post. And then follow us on social media at smarshxo on Twitter and at Patty Pitts on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. Speaking of TikTok, we have one ourselves, No Nights Off Show. Go check that out. We can go live on TikTok, actually, through Riverside. So we
I
just
know
got to
we need to
log
do
in.
that.
Just give me that
Yeah.
login. I'll pop it in. They'll be going live on TikTok every time we go live as well. And then follow Underground Sports PHI on all social media platforms, the network which we do this on. And yeah, that's all we got for you guys this week. We'll be back on Thursday for more wrestling news and more nonsense. I got a Twitch stream to announce that involves you, Sarah. We got a pay-per-view PLE we have to book. So I can't wait. I hope you can either. We'll see you guys on Thursday. Thank you for tuning in. God bless. And remember that you can do it. All you got to do is